Percy Spencer invented the first microwave oven in 1945. The engineer received no royalties for his invention, just a $2 payment his company gave to all its inventors. It's approximately the same as $30 today. What cheapskates! There are more than 60,000 tree species that science knows about on our planet. More than half of them only exist in one country. Not only can starfish regenerate a lost limb can regenerate the entire starfish as well. A new meaning to the phrase, out on a limb. The slow loris, a small creature that looks like a monkey, is the only venomous primate known to people. These animals lick toxin-producing glands under their inner arms and then bite enemies. Black holes aren't really black. The smallest of them emit visible light. With time, though, it drains them of their energy and mass. It took Erno Rubik, the creator of the famous 3D puzzle, 1 month to solve it. But in June 2018, the record time was a mere 4.22 seconds. Almost 3% of people have an inborn inability to recognize the voices of people they know. This phenomenon is called phonagnosia. Each tree in Melbourne was given a unique ID number so that residents could email the council if something wrong happened to it. But people started to send love letters to trees instead. Your tongue has its own unique print, just like your fingers. It's also equipped with 10,000 taste buds that get replaced every 2 weeks or so. NASA has managed to translate radio waves created by planets' atmospheres into audible sounds. That's how astronomers have found out that Neptune sounds like ocean waves, Jupiter like being underwater, and Saturn resembles background music to a horror movie. When you cough, the air is forced out of your lungs along with thousands of tiny saliva droplets. A single cough expels more than 3,000 droplets. They fly out of your mouth at a speed of 50 miles per hour. So please, cover your mouth. Tim Storms, an American singer and composer, got to the Guinness World Records twice, for the widest vocal range and for the lowest note produced by a human. This note was so low that only elephants could hear it. Attaboy, Tim! People have way fewer genes than tomatoes and about the same number as worms. Scientists suspect that the number of genes may have nothing to do with the complexity of something. Now, even though the giraffe's neck is usually 6 feet in length, it still has the same number of neck bones as humans. Scientists predict that our planet's ozone layer will completely restore itself within the next 50 years. Firefighters usually extinguish flames with wet water. It's water mixed with special wetting agents. These are chemicals that help water soak into objects and spread everywhere more easily. Not to get lost in Central Park in New York, pay attention to lamp posts. Each of them has a set of 4 numbers. The first 2 inform you about the nearest street. The remaining show whether you're closer to the park's west or east side. Odd numbers are for the west, and even signal the east. Scientists analyzed some fossils and figured out that dinosaurs used to quack like modern ducks or make sounds similar to pigeons or ostriches. Your stomach and esophagus are covered with nerve cells. There are almost 100 million of them. That's more than there are in a cat's entire head. Scientists call these cells the second brain because they determine your mood and emotions. Hearing is your fastest sense. Your brain needs just 0.05 seconds to recognize a sound. It's 10 times faster than you blink. Ravens can learn to talk better than parrots. They also imitate other sounds and noises, including animal calls or car engines. Some rainbows appear at night. It's a rather rare phenomenon called a moonbow. A moonbow is produced by moonlight rather than direct sunlight. That's why the thing appears to be white. Wearing orange for a job interview is a bad idea. 25% of hiring managers associate this color with a lack of professionalism. They prefer candidates dressed in blue. Or maybe that just indicates a lack of open-mindedness of the hiring managers. Most animals stay away from power lines because they give off flashes of ultraviolet light. Plus, around 35 animal species are sensitive to UV radiation. Talking about all the mammals in the world, only humans and apes fail to see ultraviolet rays. The Marmite Company, which produces spreads made from yeast extract, created special travel-sized jars. It happened because Marmite became one of the most confiscated things when people were leaving the UK through airports. Before trees overtook the land, some 360 million years ago, our planet was covered with huge mushrooms. They grew 24 feet tall and several feet wide. Boy, I'd love to see the pizza those could fit on. In the past, men's dress shirt collars were detachable. It helped people save money on laundry costs. Ancient Egyptian necklace, dating back 5,000 years, was made from iron meteorites. They arrived from space and were turned into the world's oldest iron artifact we know about. Squirrels plant millions of trees every year after they forgot where they've hidden their acorns and nuts. A human hair, which is one of the narrowest visible things in the world, is more than 1 million atoms across. Hawaiian pizza with ham and pineapples is actually Canadian. It was invented in Toronto in 1962 by a Canadian chef. He called it Hawaiian after the brand of canned pineapple he used. Hey, I know some mushrooms that might be good with that. Your hair contains a tiny amount of gold. There are up to 14 elements in each strand of your hair, including this precious metal. The world's longest mountain range on Earth is underwater. The Mid-Atlantic Ocean Ridge in the Atlantic Ocean is around 26,000 miles long. That's as long as 5 Great Walls of China placed one after another. Square watermelons appeared in Japan at the end of the 1970s. They were supposed to fit better inside small fridges. But to stay this unusual shape, square watermelons have to be picked before they're ripe. Unfortunately, it makes them inedible. Elephants can move pretty fast, but they can't jump. Not only because it's hard to do when you weigh 5 tons or more, elephants also have relatively weak lower leg muscles and rather inflexible ankles. But you should see them pack a trunk. When you learn something new, your brain changes its structure. New connections between neurons appear. It helps you link information faster. The feeling it's not the first time you experience some event in real life is called déjà vu. But if you feel that you've already experienced something in a dream, it's déjà rêvé. Your brain is likely to be more creative when you're tired. Carrots used to be purple in the past, with some yellow ones among them. But then people figured out that yellow carrots tasted better. Purple ones were a bit on the bitter side. Farmers started to experiment, and in the 16th century, they were already growing bright orange carrots you munch on today. Hopefully not the same ones. Fidgeting burns calories. If you spend all day fidgeting, you can burn as much as 350 calories. So get used to tapping your fingers and bouncing your leg to stay fit. Almost 2.5 billion people use Facebook on a regular basis. That's nearly as many as the combined population of India and China. Your decisions are more rational and your reasoning is sharper when you think in a foreign language. Leap Day, which is February 29th, is crucial for our calendar. Earth doesn't orbit the Sun in exactly 365 days. It's actually 365.256 days. And February 29th compensates for the planet's not-so-perfect orbit. As medical technologies improve, people start to believe in medicine more. That's why the placebo effect is getting more and more powerful. All the ants in the world weigh more than the entire human population of the planet. So far, they haven't weighed all the uncles of the world. The size of prop dollar bills used in movies has to be either 75% smaller or 150% bigger than the actual bill size. The image must be printed on just one side, and only one color of ink can be used.